I'm talking with Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam, Republican running for governor. Sir, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Talk about the day hat you wear as Agriculture Commissioner as we move forward. Let me begin. There was one, obviously you've been dealing a lot in your 2 terms with citrus greening, the problems with the citrus industry. I want you to be able to respond. There had been some criticism that said the citrus industry is facing unprecedented challenges, your words, but one business executive, a Democrat, said, if it's happening on your watch, it's your problem. The citrus industry has declined on Adam's watch, talking about citrus greening, talking about some of the other impacts we've seen. Respond to that criticism in your overview of where we stand for the growers in our area and that critique.
Well, a lot of people live in this area and watch your show regularly and don't realize what a big deal agriculture is for Palm Beach County and for all of Florida. It's a $120 billion industry for the state of Florida, and Palm Beach County is actually on the top 10 list of top agricultural producing counties in the country. Other counties like Napa and Sonoma share a place on that list. A lot to be proud of there. Citrus has had a difficult decade. Citrus greening, Hurricane Irma.
And we want to note that long preceded your tenure as Agriculture Commissioner, so as many of you, as all of you know, so let us add that caveat. This didn't start on your watch.
Well, no, but you know, part of farming is dealing with pests and diseases. And unfortunately, this is one that we have not yet developed an effective cure for.
But to her critique, what do you say?
Well, we're pouring resources into research and development in our state university system here in Florida and around the world. There are a number of companies carrying out private research initiatives. We have fast-tracked the permitting for a couple of short-term treatments that allow us to extend the life of the tree while we wait on that more permanent cure for this terrible disease. But the footprint of Florida citrus, which is our iconic signature crop, has shrunk because of development pressures, because of citrus greening disease, and because of the hurricane. And you know, we estimate that the losses from Hurricane Irma approach nearly $1 billion just to citrus alone.
As governor, what could or would you do differently?
Well, there are a couple of things. One, and this is of greater interest to the vegetable farmers here in Palm Beach than it is to the citrus industry. We have to have a more level playing field for trade. Our green bean growers, string bean growers, our bell pepper growers, our tomato growers, many of whom are right here in this area, are being hammered and driven out of business by unfair trade practices where Mexico and other Latin American countries are dumping product below their production costs. And under Secretary Ross, a good Palm Beach County resident, we're finally having the ear of the administration to level that playing field. That's something that we'll continue to do as governor, and making sure that the pipeline is open so that we're producing the next generation of growers who help us feed this country.
Commissioner, 2 topics in our remaining moments. One, agriculture, of course, depends on climate. There's so much debate about climate change. The Scott administration was criticized at one point for reportedly saying you can't talk about climate change. Do you believe climate change is happening?
I do, and I don't...
And is man-made, in part?
Certainly. Man has a role in that, but I believe it is also part of a larger climatic shift that occurs. I mean, where I'm from, you can find shark's teeth in the inland of Florida. So we have clearly seen long-term changes over time, but here in Florida, we're seeing the effects of it.
What do you do to combat
fields that
it
need
as
to be
governor?
moved in. We have to have a resilience strategy in our engineering. We have to have plans that are part of our public highways and raising those levels, our stormwater and wastewater treatment systems, moving well fields inland, raising the seawalls. Look, our coastal economy is vital to Florida. It's where all the high-powered real estate is, it's where the people live. If we don't get that right, I've always said water is Florida's golden goose. We better take care of it.
In our last remaining minute, you're running against, among others, Ron DeSantis, Congressman in North Florida, who has the support of President Donald Trump, Richard Corcoran, House Speaker. We don't know if he jumps in the race. How do you combat the advantage that Ron DeSantis presumably has or hopes he has with hardcore Republicans, especially as we look to the primary? How do you combat the Trump seal of approval for him in the primary?
Washington is not going to solve Florida's problems. I'm the candidate who knows Florida best and has always put Florida first, and I'm running a strong grassroots campaign that includes voters and activists and concerned citizens from every corner of our state. I will put my grassroots movement the people who share my vision for a stronger, better Florida, putting Florida first, I would put them up against anyone, and we'll come out on top.
Final thought beyond that, generally speaking, as we move ahead in the campaign?
Well, I think this is going to be a very critical election for the future of Florida. And I believe the people of Florida want a CEO of our state who knows every corner of it, who knows the difference between how we solve problems in Delray and Boynton versus how we solve them in Okaloosa and Walton County and the Panhandle. Someone who can bring us together and solve the big long-term issues facing Florida. Put Florida first. Commissioner,
on what I know is a nonstop itinerary crisscrossing the state, we thank you for taking time to join our viewers.
My pleasure.
Here on To The Point. We greatly appreciate it. We'll be back with more in just a moment.